Before we begin tonight, I want to say thank you very much to every person who subscribed. Thank you to every shout out that I've gotten, every share. Thank you to everybody who's come over here from TikTok or Instagram. My Instagram's actually doing well, which is crazy because I, frankly, could never figure out the algorithm on Instagram because I don't have boobs, and that seems to be like that's where the thoughts generate, you know. But I'm getting a lot of people coming from Instagram, from TikTok. Thank you guys so much for following my TikTok. I'm going to be releasing a series of videos. If you guys like if you guys like the right now videos that I'm doing on YouTube does not like them. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to make people laugh. Like I'm trying to just come at narcissistic abuse and awareness from a comedic perspective. You know, just make us laugh because we need to laugh about it. We were abused and how we were treated. So, but YouTube, every time I upload it, goes straight to yellow. Don't understand. It takes a day and a half for me to get it green. So I'm going to be doing that series probably on my TikTok specifically. But before I begin, before I introduce, I've got Ryan Roger Athy, one of my fellow rogues, Hale Brothers. Before I bring him in, I'm going to run some intros. And I just wanted to say, it really has meant a lot to me over the last 8 months. I've been rah-rah-rahing. I'm going to get 10K in a year, and I may not hit that, but I got 5K in 8 months, and that was due to all of the shares that you guys put out there on your Facebook, the videos you share to your friends, or the Discord. I see Discord. I see all kinds of activity, and as far as sharing my videos, and I greatly appreciate that. I thank you guys so much. You know, we who have been through this, those of us who have been through narcissistic abuse, are the only ones who can really understand what we have been through. And, you know, it's important that we keep talking about it, that we're here for people who are just going through it, that we support those who have, and try and be a positive force. So I want to say thank you guys very much for being here. And once again, because I'm repeating myself, let's get this party started.
What lies beneath your feet? Sacred grounds, watered with tears of blood. Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
On a cold winter morning, in the time before the light, in flames of death, eternal rain, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness is falling down, and the signs of sorrow rise, the sound of evil laughter falls around the world tonight. Fighting hard, fighting on for steel, through the wastelands evermore. The skeleton souls will feel the hell bodies wasted on the shore. On the blackest flames in hell's domain, we watch the last they go. In fire's rain, I watch the band win love. So now we fly, yeah, we're free before the thunderstorm. On towards the wilderness, our quest carries on. Far beyond the sundown, far beyond the moonlight, deep inside our hearts and all our souls. So far away, we wait for the day, yeah. For the night's all so wasted and gone. We feel the pain of a lifetime lost in 1,000 days. Through the fire and the flames we carry on. Now here we stand with that blood on our hands. We fought so hard, now can we understand? I'll break the seal of this curse if I possibly can, for freedom of every man.
This is where we hold them.
So far away, we wait for the day, yeah. For the night's all so wasted and gone. We feel the pain of a lifetime lost in 1,000 days. Through the fire and the flames we carry on.
chat. Hell, here we go. Hail the chat. How you guys doing? Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Please hit the like button, share out the link, and thank you for supporting the various channels that deal with narcissistic abuse, various channels that give out information that is necessary to those of us who go through what we've been through and need a little help. I also want to give a shout out to Culture Casino, hit 10K. He's one of my oldest friends. Congratulations to him. Had a great stream over there. Legion of Memers had a great stream. Didn't have a chance to meet up with those guys. Look for them on Twitter and YouTube. These are great channels. These are really good people. And I also have a link for General Zod's Phantom Zone. It's pinned in the chat. I actually I've known Zod for years. We're never really been particularly close. We've streamed a few times, but he did a great stream on narcissism today. And thank you to Papa Cotton for actually sending me the link for that. And so please take a look at General Zod's playlist on narcissism, give him a subscription, and support your independent creators. Before I begin, I want to say thank you once again to everybody, and bring up my co-host for today, the great, the wonderful, someone who continues to support creators all over every sphere. My good friend, Ryan Roger Athey. What's up? Oh, what's up, brother? Oh, did it even come up? So this is what's going on. This is what's going on with my. This is what's going on. Did it work? It didn't even work. Ryan, I can't even get you up on screen. Oh my God, it happened again. This is all right. All right, I'm gonna wait a second. No, that didn't work. Poor Ryan. He don't even. Is it gonna work? Oh my God! Stop laughing. First off, this is like really embarrassing. I'm trying to stop. I see you laughing. It really don't want to. It's really messing with me. I swear to God, there's another person here, and he's laughing at me right now. I can't even bring him up. What's up, whatever cast? All right. I was saying, stop laughing. Hold on. All right, tap it really light. That's crazy. I tried to introduce you 10 times.
Don't you have a mouse, Stephen?
No, I got a laptop that I use for work from like 8 years ago. That's all I got right now because someone stole my computer. And yeah, but it's serving its purpose.
My Lenovo ThinkPad X230 is over 10 years old, Stephen. So you're in good company. It's great to be here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. And this will be great for the Me on Other Shows playlist, especially when Hypno put all his streams to members only. So you got to ride Hypno's member to watch those shows.
Hey, then that's a good way to do it. There's a lot of people that do their streams that way. I have started doing that here, but that's on my earlier streams when I would say things I shouldn't say. So you got to pay to hear me act wreck. How you doing, Ryan? How's your channel doing, man?
Oh, slowly but surely growing. We're getting closer to 1,690, and once we hit 1,700, I will be doing a 1,700 subscriber celebration because, I get all sorts of people from all sorts of different communities, and I am someone who likes to learn and likes to highlight fellow creators as rising stars and take suggestions from all the wonderful viewers. Doesn't matter if you're a saint, a sinner, a sicko, a psycho. I'm not picky when it comes to subscribers, folks. I'm here to learn, and I'm here to be on this journey. And this guy really deserves to be where he is today. He's criminally underrated. He spent years bogged down with all sorts of internal difficulties. And it's good to see that you're getting the recognition you deserve, Stephen.
And it's hard work and consistency, man. And it's also remembering, like, a lot of people that I worked with as I was coming up, and I feel like I let down because when I went through what I went through, like, Rogue fell apart. I was saying this on a stream, or I was saying it to somebody the other day. I said I had to build a channel and build a crew to break a crew and destroy a channel to learn how to do this right. And it's a learning experience. It's where I'm at now. But I had wonderful people along the way that are still my great friends. People like Wes Moody from Whatevercast. Guys, please check out Whatevercast. He is currently running a fundraiser for an independent project. And what we do, what I do in the other sphere I operate in is support independent creators. I'm going to have Wes up at some point. I was planning on doing a series of streams for people who have had been through narcissistic abuse. Wes has narcissistic parents, and so he's given me a keen insight several times on being a child of narcissist, which has helped me a lot in understanding. I'm going to have him on for an interview to talk about that at some point in the future. I'm looking forward to it. Guys, there's Papa Cotton. Please, if you are not subscribed, check out Papa Cotton. Check him out on Twitter. You will get unfiltered, no bullshit. He comes through my comments sometimes. It makes me cringe, but that is my managing moderator. So please do not make sure to act right, because one thing that man does is stay to his word, and he is a friend to who he calls friend. And so if you guys act wreck, he's got the band hammer on everybody. Thank you, Papa, so much for being here and introducing and sending me the link for General Zod's stream earlier. Great. I didn't even know Zod did that. I've known Zod for 4 years now, since I first started in TFM. And like I said, we've never been particularly close, him and his crew, PB and those guys. But he did a great stream today. It was part narcissistic awareness and protecting children, because he was talking about an instance where a narcissist was trying to groom children, and then claiming to be a victim. So he was actually like a narcissist hiding, like some narcissists do within narcissist abuse communities, so they can find more people to abuse.
A chameleon.
A chameleon, yes, absolutely. Also want to say thank you to Ruth. What is up, Ruth? That is one of my first moderator. Thank you so much. Been supporting me since before I hit 1,000 subscribers. I can't even remember. Thank you, Ruth, so much for being here. Hail to you, sweetheart. My sister across the pond. Good to see you. And Nikki Red is here. What's up, Nikki? We suffer no fools. Yes, sweetheart. We do not. You never again suffer those fools. Once you learn a lesson, see, some people don't learn their lessons. Some people continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. Trust the wrong people, or don't value themselves. Don't create strong boundaries. Don't stand up for themselves. And that could be for any number of reasons. It could be from bad upbringing, having codependency, abandonment issues. It could be it could be anything that causes a person to continue to accept the same types of abuse from people, or be walked over, or be a doormat, or just be a revolving door for people to kick. But when you learn your lessons, you get this new pair of eyes, and you get this new armor. When you create strong boundaries and you refuse to let people walk all over you, and introspect. A lot of introspection it takes for that. You got to understand who you are, what damages you had. You got to understand, what caused you to be susceptible to someone else's manipulation. And you also have to, at the same time, dealing with that anger, not become the thing you hate, which is something that I've actually struggled with over the last year as I've been recovering, because I've had to go through the anger stages. I've had to go through the reflection. I've had to look at myself and say, okay, Steve, how are you acting? Are you acting narcissistic because you hate this narcissist that hurt you? There's been a lot of things that I've had to look at and do and recover from. But when you come to the end of it, when you're a stronger version of yourself, you are like Nikki, and we suffer no fools. Thank you so much for being here, sweetheart.
Two different perspectives, folks. This guy has been in one controversy after the next for the last 4 to 5 years. I've been an active creator for nearly 2 years now. Okay, I'm nowhere near as prominent as Stephen is, but not a single controversy. And I said on a Hypno stream, Black Lives don't matter. Nothing touches me. It must be the nose and the Chinese eyes.
Honestly, Ryan, it's the way that you approach what you do. To say, like, I was I did a video, congratulations video for Culture Casino, and I was like, the two of the people that I came up with, Culture Casino's Pork and News podcast, they're my best friends. They're two of my best friends. They know how to navigate. I can't keep my mouth shut. That's always been my problem. It's like whack-a-mole. When I see a liar or a fake or a snake, and from my perspective, because it may not be true, sometimes we do bullshit ourselves, y'all. But I want to whack that mole, and that's not what Culture does. It's not what Scotty does. They work within the atmosphere. They work with the different creators, and they're way more accepting of people's behaviors than I am. I am Come on. We gotta work. I gotta get a mouse. Look look above. Thank you very much, channel member. Thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. Good evening, Narc survivors. Good evening. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your support. Thank you for being a channel member. I'm gonna be. So what I'm gonna do for my channel members is I kind of have a different philosophy at the moment. It's crazy how we evolve as we heal and find ourselves and find our center. I'm going to do the series on how to mirror a narcissist. But I truly believe that unless you're in an extreme situation where you have to either get your kids, you have to get like a personal object that narc stole stuff from you, something like that. The best thing to do is to go, just disappear, just no contact. Fuck you, goodbye. So I'm going to be doing a series on mirroring the narcissist for my channel members, but I'm also going to be doing some motivational videos for you guys. And thank you so much. And here's another great person, Angel. What is up, sweetheart? Victoria, named after victory itself. Thank you so much, sister. Greatly appreciate you. This is somebody who has been working with me and helping me to get through. And I greatly appreciate Angel.
The more the merrier. I was a bit distracted, folks, because my father is still awake. It is a bit late in the United Kingdom, and he was doing this, and he was going platform 1 for Stephen Walton. I was like, go away, shoo.
Thank you, Dad.
Because it's 3 different generations, folks. I'm in my mid-20s. I'm 24. My father is 68, and this guy is 46. So he's right in the middle of that generational thing, and yeah,
I am. I'm like, it's weird. I'm at the end of Gen X and the beginning of the millennials, so I'm like a hybrid. My sister's born in '84, and she's very Gen X, but she's a millennial technically. So yeah, we're all messed up. We're all confused. And Ryan, I love Ryan's being as honest as he possibly can, but you understand that this is a group of people who recovered from bullshitters. So I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there, bro. Can you bring up the tab for General Zod? Thank you very much.
Sure. It's like share screen. There we go. Then we press this tab, then share. And this is what I am showing you now. Hopefully you can all see it.
Yep. Hey, so this is a content creator I've known for several years. We've had interactions before. We've just never really worked together consistently or anything. But I was stopped by a stream earlier on General Zod's Fandom Zone. There is a link. Yep, there's a link. And yep, that was the stream. That very last one.
It is
really good. Zod is trying to, when I was watching that stream, bring awareness to a narcissistic situation that involved children. And we should protect those kids, guys. It's very important for us to look after our, children. He's a father. I'm a father. And a lot of us are parents. I'm nothing at all bad to say about this man. He's had a consistent crew of people. They usually do pop culture talk, but I saw him talking about narcissism today, and I want to support narcissistic awareness. So, guys, please give General Zod give him a chance. Check out. He has a playlist on narcissism. Support your independent creators, and thank you guys very much.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Angel says, I thought I was over the abuse, but you've shown me I still need to refine. I'm so grateful for that. Oh, well, I'm glad that I could help shine some light for you. This is a collective experience. I'm still learning as I go. I'm going through my healing journey, which is obvious from my earlier videos to now. I've gotten less angry and aggressive. But it's about introspection. I'm a big believer in owning who we are, taking a look inward, seeing why we were forgiving ourselves, but not only forgiving ourselves, but looking at why we were susceptible to the manipulation of another person.
And I'm taking notes to learn from the mistakes of others, folks. That's how I learn.
And that's the smart way. Ryan is the observer. That is the smart way to go about it. Yeah, but I'm grateful for you too, because you've shown me things, Angel. So has everybody else in the chat and everybody who supports, all the comments and stories that I read. It really gives me an insight. And I mean, some of you guys have been through a hell of a lot worse than me. What's strange, y'all, is I began speaking to the person I was triangulated with.
Oh,
yeah.
Should I stop sharing? Leave
it up for a little bit.
I like seeing you when I
okay, you can put it down. That's fine.
Because all I'm seeing is just what's being shared, folks, and I find it a bit uncomfortable after a while, just hearing Stephen like a ghost. So
I don't want to. I
there
don't
we
want to
go.
trigger Ryan. We're
Mm.
here to help people, not hurt them. But before I go on, I see some more comments. Thank you, guys. I'll get to you. Yeah, I've actually begun conversations with the with one of the guys I was triangulated with, like the other supply, who I thought was the main supply. It turns out that my narc had several boyfriends at the same time.
Damn.
Yeah, and
How
it's not
American
even.
of her.
And you're right, and it wasn't even limited to he and I. And it's crazy because I have to forgive. I've got to forgive him. I got to forgive every nasty thing he said and did, because he was on her smear streams, on her channel, on her YouTube channel, and degrading. But now I understand. Like, if that dude went through what I went through, which he absolutely did, because we've been messaging each other and comparing notes and talking about different stories, and you know, like on. I don't want to get into the jokes about the sexual proclivities, Ryan. In that circle, in that sphere of her lies, on that end, it was me. I was the one getting yes. And right, and on this sphere where I existed in, it was another one. But then I found out that there was another one. There's like 3 other guys. There have been. I know. And she's been getting thousands of dollars from all of them. And so I find out I have to actually set down, because now I have to look at it like, okay, I'm dealing with another person who's been through narcissistic abuse, and only those of us who have been through it understand it. So it doesn't. I have to let go of all the stuff he said or did. I have to let it go, because he's now, as we speak, going through. Oh my God, that's a demon, and I know where that leads, and I know where it can lead, and I know the difficulties in healing and facing that, and you know, finding peace within yourself. So good luck to him. No more jokes. No more jokes about that guy. I'm not joking, not talking any trash. At this point, I am talking to another narcissistic abuse survivor, and I am not going to degrade. I am not going to devalue. I'm not going to be narcissistic. Literally, you know what I mean, to a person who has been through that type of abuse. So best of luck.
It's good to see
him.
Slender Dad. I always have
Slender's
good good conversations with Slender Dad when he, I, and yourself, Stephen, interact with one another.
Yeah. It's good to see. Thank you. Look about. I'll get to Slender in a second. There be rogues here, brother. Thank you for being here. I am low contact with decades of marriage behind me. So you gray rock. So you're having to gray rock the whole situation. Do what you have to do to minimize, any interaction, and give that demon as little negative fuel as possible. I'm a baby boomer, and we are called the Johnson generation, the lost generation. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, because the wisdom that you can impart to us and others is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So we're all learning, even at my age. I don't want to talk about age, Angel. I feel, I'm getting gray. I know. I don't want to talk.
You got 30 years. I got 50.
I'm a little sensitive now. Slender Dad, what is going on there? Be rogues here, guys. Please check out Slender Dad, Lil Chad, the Mad Barber Entertainment.
Yep. Mad Cheesemo himself, fine man.
Going to be resuming running streams for Sporky News Podcast Wednesday show. Going to be resuming my shows on Saturdays. I have finally gotten to a point where I feel like I'm not going to get online and just act wreck. So I'm good now. I've calmed, Ryan. I've calmed down. I'm okay now.
Until the next crisis.
Until the next crisis.
This man has, for the past 4 or 5 years, this man has gone from crisis to crisis to crisis. He's lost an AIDS demon and weight. That's all he's lost.
I did lose weight.
And his laptop.
I did, yeah. Well, yeah, that was stolen. The computer was stolen. I did lose weight, though. And then I got shirtless on Culture Casino stream because Memes asked me to, and Memes is a fucking demon, too. Well, he's an imp. He's not a demon. He's an imp. Memes of Destruction is an imp that will get people to do things that they shouldn't do. And I'm up there naked with that 70s fan, Culture, Phil TMNT. Who else was there? Brahma Bull. Brahma Bull, did you say, had a tie on. He was shirtless, but he had a tie on. He was, he was dapper. And Snow Dub came on screen. my boy Snow came on screen,
Mhm.
which I had never seen. I've been working with him for known him for 4 or 5 years, over 4 years, and he's never come on screen. So that was pretty cool to see. Um, what's up, Becky? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Yep, that's right. That's right. Gray Rock works well, and there's from experience.
Mm.
Wes deals with Narcissus and his family, and that works for him. Um, oh no, it's okay. I'm just kind of bullshitting, man. Get your stuff done.
Mm.
We are going to be resuming shows next Saturday, 7 p.m. and running them for about an hour 15 into Scott's show. So I want to
Oh.
resume what the original plan was. We had like the Rogue Saturday nights. We had
Mhm.
my show and then Scott's and then ETEP's. So I just want to kind of keep that. I want to resume that flow because we all support one
Mm.
another and it doesn't matter
Hang
if we're
together.
Rogue.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely supporting each other. What's up, Bad Take Tina Bojan, guys? If you could share a link, does she have a wrench? I gotta look. Uh, Tina, please share a link to your channel. She just started a YouTube channel, and we support up and coming creators around
Mm.
her. There she does.
Especially real women.
And real women, unicorns, Okay, we are all jealous of Mr. Bojan. I'm not gonna say why, because she's one of our friends. She's told us things. She said things. She has said things on stream, but she's a special one. That's a 10. That's a 10 right there.
And she's bulletproof too.
Apparently, she's from Chicago. She'll whip your ass. She'll tie you up and take you to a black site. I'm telling you, Tina. And then put on leather. Like I don't know. It's a Mr. Bojan. Thank you. I'm just saying. Okay. What's up, Gap? Good to see you, Gap After Dark. God, thank you so much, man. Walton, what's going on? I am just having a good time. A little bit of a thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Helped me build 5,000 subscribers in 8 months, which is what happens when you concentrate on your channel.
Thankfully,
And
Gap,
don't,
Stephen has
know,
recovered from his current crisis. Then he will spend a month relaxing. Then he'll want to get into a fight. Then he'll go into his next crisis for the next 3 months.
Listen, that's messed up. How you calling me out right now, Ryan? Now listen, I'm going to be consistent on this channel. This is the Rock. This is the Rock. Okay, I'm trying not to get into fights, but I just can't keep my mouth shut. It's what it is. Yeah, calm. A calm. Don't call me out. Hold on. Look, you got Gap calling me out. I am calm. I'm good right now. I'm good, Gap. You know what the thing is, Ryan? I'm gonna actually pull up the article that Andy brought up so we can cover at least one thing. But I don't know. I am so tired of dealing with these idiots. This whole Snow White thing, right? The latest thing with Snow Brown. Okay, and all the misandry and racism that she's throwing out there. This actress is destroying this film. Things like that have really worn me down. Like I, after learning about and continuing to learn, researching narcissism and cluster B personality disorders and these kinds of disorders, I go back and I look at my old videos. Like I did a video on author Stephen Walton about Kathleen Kennedy, the narcissist at the Disney story group, and it's given me a new perspective on these people. And now, so I'm looking at Hollywood, I'm looking at these actors, these producers, these people who are literally gaslighting entire fandoms to create narcissistic supply. And I'm even more uninterested in covering this shit than I used to be, than I was when I left.
Well, it's all connected, Stephen. This actress in question, Rachel Zegler, is a bit Colombian and a bit Polish. That's one hell of a recipe right there, folks. And it is all connected. The popular culture, the narcissistic abuse and awareness, the politics, all the other different topics. And that's why Papa Cotton 69 highlights the fact that I have talked about a wide variety of creators, nearly 400 or not nearly, past 450 rising stars, and at least a couple of hundred creators through my thoughts and suggestion videos. It is all connected, and the one thing that brings us together is our opposition to the establishment. Once it's gone, we'll all be at each other's throats, and most creators are financially based, folks. They're coin grabbing bastards. But what I do as a creator, I don't make a dime doing this, and Americans are like, they look at me as if I have 3 heads or something when I say that, because your god, unfortunately, is money.
And
Unfortunately.
I think you're right. You're about the most based person I think I know of. I know.
That's why I
Man.
call myself reality based.
Yeah, really. And you're entirely right. Like Papa's right. I've seen you
Mhm.
talk to so many different
Mhm.
types of creators, people that I've never
Mhm.
even, some people I've never heard of, which is really good. The exposure that you give, the cross pollination from different channels. But I like how you say. So what you're saying is, even though Bounding into Comics thinks that I'm the devil because I don't pray the right way,
Mm.
I should be okay with I should be okay with their CNN like reporting because
Mhm.
we're on the same team.
Mm.
And then once we become the new industry,
Mm.
then I can go after them.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to get that out there.
So what were you again, Stephen? You're remind me. You're not Christian. You're
I'm a pagan man. I don't understand. I don't understand what the problem.
Could you say that again for people who didn't hear that?
I'm a pagan man, and what's wrong? I don't understand. What is
What is he saying, chat? Type in what Stephen just said.
okay now. Uh, and respect, guys. Honestly, Bounding into Comics has supported a lot of different creators. They have presented a lot of arguments that the mainstream media would not, that other other websites would not. So even though, and if the most of y'all in my audience are Christians, so they got a real big Catholic lean, and so if you're there, if that's with you, then you ain't going to see an issue. But they have absolutely, and I have covered Bounding into Comics and used their articles and referenced them and promoted them for several years. So it's one of the many differences in working in a large group of people, a large indie sphere of people. And much in the same way, narcissistic abuse survivors who come from all walks of life come together and support one another. That's kind of the idea when it comes to oh my God. Why is this happening right now? I'm trying to be positive. I am trying to be positive.
The truth is reality based, Stephen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that is the truth. That's what you are saying.
No, pagan. I'm pagan. 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 I don't understand. I don't understand. Papa, I don't understand. Why is this becoming? Yeah, no. You're totally taking this out of context right now, Papa. This is not.
I'm giving your opponents loads of ammunition, Stephen, and they're not using it. Why not?
Pagan, what? Pop, Tina, what? I can't. Now I'm getting confused. What? No, this. I don't understand. I don't understand. He said, "What, Cap? I got my crucifix ready. All right, well, that's fine." I said, "Papa Cock, we are
It'll
not
never not be funny until he says it correctly. Folks.
Do you understand the trauma? All right, look, I'm not dealing this. What's up, Tim's Talk? Thank you so much for being here, guys. Please share a link out for Tim's Talk. Great creator in this community. This cat is in his 30s. This is what happens. This is what happens when you don't chase. What did Mortal Coil card? Well, Mortal Coil was talking to him the other day. He said, "Steven, you have a proclivity for toxic poon. This is what happens when you don't chase toxic poon. You take care of your body, you work out, and you cosplay as Kylo Ren. You actually look like you're 25. This dude's in his 30s. Congratulations. Good to see you, Tim."
Oh, and Slender Dad makes a good point. I don't mind that Stephen is a pagan man, but he doesn't say he's a pagan man. He says he's a pegging man.
No, I am not saying that. Where are you getting that? This is...
Say it again, then.
I'm a pagan man. What is wrong with you? I don't. Okay, that's it. No, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this no more. I don't understand, Gap. What's going on? I don't understand.
This is even more funnier than race baiting Atreus on the Hypno Show.
What were you doing? What were you doing?
Well, I was. I recently found out that Atreus's father, when Atreus was a boy, was selling crack to make money. So yeah.
Sometimes you gotta sell crack, bro.
He falls right into the stereotypes, and the stereotypes are the truth because the truth is reality based, and I'm not
It
going
is.
to apologize for that.
It absolutely is.
Mm.
Well, going back to you know, what's going on in entertainment,
Mm.
it having done as much research, watched as much videos, read as many papers as I have, being inundated really while I was going through my healing journey, being
Mhm.
inundated in learning about toxic behaviors, because I also, and to be fair, wanted to learn what toxic behaviors I had, what I needed to change about me, and I'm looking at it's everywhere. Narcissism,
Mhm.
so psychopathy,
Yeah.
everywhere,
Mm.
and when I was coming to the realization that people take things like our modern mythologies, Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, narcissist, absolutely. She took
Mhm.
something that a lot of people loved, collected a group of toxic people around her that were hateful, bigoted, biased, sexist, racist, and so that these toxic people could project their toxicity onto a fandom, break their heart, destroy this modern myth, and use it as a platform,
Mhm.
as I've always said, to espouse bigotry propaganda. But that propaganda was a smear campaign. It was gaslighting entire swaths of people, an
Mhm.
entire fandom. So doing this content has really made me look at what's happening with another level of vitriol, man.
Mm.
Like, do I really want to bring attention? Because narcissists look for attention. Toxic people want that attention. That's why they do what
Mhm.
they do. So, in actuality, the entire fandom menace movement and everything that's come from it has come from giving attention to toxic people who are looking for
Mm.
that anger and attention, that
Oh,
heartbreak.
definitely. Although, in my view, folks, it's a two-step approach. You highlight the problem, then you find the solution. Unfortunately, since most creators' main priority is to become prominent and financially based, there's a lot of money to be made out of just highlighting the problem and never providing a solution.
Right.
Thankfully, there are exceptions that allow the best of both worlds, to find a solution to the problem while making a ton or a boatload of money on the side. I can give two examples, one that Stephen is rather neutral on, and one that Stephen can't fucking stand, and that would be the Rippaverse and the Comicsgate community in regards to making comics great again, because establishment comics, Marvel, DC, are in the toilet, and the two greatest successes in providing a solution to the problem of mainstream comics is the Rippaverse with ISOM, both 1 and 2, as well as the wider Comicsgate community, of which the most successful off the top of my head would have to be Ethan Van Sciver and his Cyberfrog series of books. Two different approaches to solving the problem that is mainstream comics, and that's just one section, never mind wider pop culture or science fiction or the culture war. That's just one small example. But for the most part, folks, we're stuck at highlighting the problem. And in regards to narcissistic abuse and awareness, highlighting the problem is very good because then you all have the means to, find the solution to said problem. But doing it en masse can be very difficult. And think of it this way, Stephen. If the problem is highlighted so much in regards to narcissism that everyone watching would have the tools to deal with narcissism, which then gets rid of all the narcissists or isolates them for the most part so that they devour each other, then what's going to happen to all the narcissistic abuse and awareness channels? Exactly.
I understand where you're going with that.
Hmm.
Yeah, much in the same way that there's, the medical industry. There's no money in a cure. The money's in the treatment.
That's why I'm not financially based. Usually it's a reality based next to this, but
Right.
this was a quick setup stream. That's why I'm not financially based. I'm reality based. I operate with a budget of 0, and it's gotten me to where I am today. Because as a result of being reality based, I cannot be swayed by financial incentives. Let's just put it that way.
Since we're on the topic of books, no, it is not published yet. I want to try and get it out by the end of this year. I'm currently working on the chapter about independent comics, an interview I had with Vinny Tardamella. Please go check out Vinny Art's channel. The great interview talking about the importance of independent comics, being an artist, and supporting the independent sphere. So I'm looking forward to presenting that to you guys. And thank you to
Stephen,
Vinny.
I just would like to highlight. Do you remember when it was supposed to be 5 books?
Oh, I wanted it to be 1.
Oh.
I only wanted it to be 1. The guy that tried to steal it wanted it to be 5 because he wanted more money. He was a French Canadian. I don't know what's up with y'all French Canadians, but I don't think I've met one that's been good.
Quebecois cunt.
He created within the book. He edited a copyright that he created, and then copywrote all 5 books in Canada and all 5 audiobooks in Canada without telling me. And if I had it's a dude. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to tell the story. So, 2 weeks before I was supposed to put out Volume 1, Phantom Menace Volume 1, I get a copy of the print from, I think it was Atlantic in Jersey. And I get the copy. He gets a hold of me. He says, "You get it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got it." And at this point, he was really manic. But Mike had always been kind of manic. Highly intelligent. He's a very highly intelligent, well-worded guy. I won't take that away from him. But he's manipulative, paranoid, and some type of toxic. Some type of just...
And, of course,
awful.
Financially based.
Financially. Oh, absolutely financially based. Because he had already gotten paid from me. All right, that's here nor there. So what happened was I got the print, and he had asked me if I had given the okay, because I had to give the okay to the printer for them to actually produce the palette, produce the books, so I could ship them. But it was Christmas time, and we had worked so hard for so many months on this book. There was so much pressure on it that I just was taking a break. I took 2 weeks off. That was it. We're right on the precipice of it. It's Christmas time. If I give the okay, I'm still not going to be able to get the books until 2 weeks into January, So why not just wait, talk after the new year? So I'm going through the book, and I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing all these different Rohig Press. That's what he called it. He created this company called Rohig Press and put Rohig Press all over this book. And I'm like, okay, what's this? What's going on with this? I tried to get a hold of him, and he wouldn't answer me. He thought I had already given the okay, so he thought he had won. It was all a power thing. It was going to be, I'm going to run these books, and I'm going to use Walton's name or whatever the fuck, or his words, that kind of thing. So I tried calling him, and couldn't get a hold of him. Eventually I called. He picked up the phone, but I think he tried to swipe it to turn it off, but it picked up. And he's on Discord talking to Drew Taylor, Mads Mama Bear, and a couple other people. And he's talking about how he owns the book. He fooled me, and that as soon as I ship those books, he owns the entire Phantom Menace volumes.
Damn.
God came through for me. God said, "You need to hear this, Steve." Because I don't know, maybe Mads Mama Bear would have come to me, maybe Drew Taylor would have come to me, maybe one of those people in that Discord would have come to me. I don't know. But I needed to hear that. And so that's what as soon as I heard that, dude, I had to re-edit the Phantom Menace Volume 1 on my own. I had to take out all the stuff that he put in there that could have attached that book to him. I had to redo the book inside of a couple weeks. And, I got it out, but it wasn't to the standard that I would have liked it to be.
That's why I'm a one-man band, folks. You never bring people close enough to you that they can stab you in the back.
Oh, but then the other toxic people, right? So the other toxic people who come at me, this is year one. This is year one drama. The other toxic people, I'm not going to bring up their names because I've either don't talk to them or we've made up since then. But the whole argument at that point was you can't trust Steve Walton. He couldn't even see a snake in front of his face. Look who he hired and worked with. You know what I mean? Don't trust him. That entire thing lost any opportunity I had to be Geeks and Gamers. Oh. Because I was in the pool, I'm not saying I would have been, but I was in the pool of people, and two of my friends that I was working with, Lethal and Jay, they they got them, and which is great because Drunk 3PO is great, Lethal Lightning is great. Glad that they got in that crew.
Well, not many first generations from back then are still part of the organization, apart from the founders and the two fellow creators that you mentioned.
Oh, and Jeremy freaking deserves it. Well, one of the people that's been there since before any of that stuff blew up was Siobhan. And if y'all ever go to a meetup and you see a little 5-foot woman hanging out, that is Siobhan. And she is one of the coolest people you will ever meet in your life. Every time I see her at a meetup, she's hardly ever on streams, hardly ever on anything, but like she is she's one of the backbones of G&G. Good people, man. I love that crew. But yeah, so that happened to me, and so yeah, right now the editor for this book is Immortal Coil because I trust Immortal Coil. So that's that story. And real quick, I'm just going to go back to the chat.
Sure.
And let's see.
Why I appreciate Stephen's perspective, ladies and gentlemen, because I was an active viewer during this period, but I was a lurker. And I was about 17, 18 at the time, long time ago. But I appreciate this man's perspective because he was there since the beginning of the effort to make pop culture great again. Pop culture isn't my forte, folks, but I love Star Wars, love Star Trek, love Doctor Who. And the reason I don't make pop culture a key part of my channel is because I don't want to open old wounds in regards to franchises that I did grow up with going the way of the dinosaur. So it's great to be here with Stephen to get that perspective of the origins.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of great people started out. Unfortunately, a lot of us ended up fighting of it. But those first 2 years, first 2 years was really inspirational to me. That's the reason why I'm still here. What got me, law of attraction, guys. I'm fighting blue-haired weirdos, far leftists on Twitter all the damn time. Right? Lying, manipulating, narcissistic, toxic, awful people. And then I had to get with one in order to learn why they're like that. So, listen, be like Ryan. Be the observer. Learn from other people's mistakes. Bad Take Tina Bojan says, I think my mother is the queen of narcissism. That's hell of a statement. I'd like to have, if you're game, Tina, I'd like to have you on for an interview. Like I'm going to have Wes on to talk about his experiences with his parents, because I've actually been talking to people like Wes and a couple other creators that I've gotten to know from TikTok. I have discovered that one of my parents was narcissistic, and I didn't even realize it. And it's one of the things that made me susceptible to being the type of manipulation that I went through. So like I'm learning things constantly. I don't hold that against that parent, but now that and they're kind of weak. I don't want to say they're older now. They're so they can't cause much damage. And we have kind of a good rapport, but talking with people like Wes and hearing what like Wes had to say about how he deals with it helped me to deal with that parent. So, it's a learning process, and I'm really enjoying the self-exploration and the self-understanding and being able to learn how to connect with people on levels that I never even knew existed. So thank you so much. Let's see. Papa Cotton says, ISOM isn't that good. Right. Papa don't hold back.
My retort, obviously, because I'm going to retort points, is in comparison to what? Current Marvel and DC?
All right. There you go. Papa
I'm using what he did. Like,
yep.
Always nice to speak with Papa Cotton. He's got that abrasive edge, so he can take a punch, but he can also give one.
Oh, Papa can take. No. I asked that man to look after somebody, and he did, and then somehow we became friends, like really close friends out of all this shit. And the one thing that I've learned consistently about him is that he will stand up for what he believes, whether you believe it or not. He don't care. He's going to tell you how he sees things. He's not inflexible. He's absolutely not. He will take information and learn it. But yeah, if you want
reality based.
He's reality based. If you want the hard ass truth, Papa came in my comments the other day and said, Walton, you've collected an entire group of really damaged women. That's what he said. And I said, It's not just women. The dudes
Mhm.
don't speak up that much. I said, but these are people that have been through a lot of manipulation. You know?
Mm.
But he was coming through with like, this is what it is. This is what I see, and he will always tell you what he sees. So thank God for that. He was arguing with one of my subscribers in the comments.
A true loyalist.
And thank God the one that he was arguing with is somebody I know, so I was able to be like, "Yo, that's Papa. You gotta understand." I was like,
And we need more of that. We need
Yes, we
more
do.
of that kind of attitude, that kind of discussion, debate,
Mhm.
outright insults. You know, when men are friends, folks, when they constantly insult one another.
Yes, absolutely. But you're right. You do
Mm.
need that directness.
Mm.
And if you make a comment, like if someone like one of the things from Papa from the conversation I had with him, when he says something and it creates emotional reaction in me,
Mhm.
like I have learned from those experiences, why is that creating an emotional reaction in me? And that I know that I have to look at the reasoning for it. Like, what is the
Mm.
underlying feeling? What is the underlying thoughts or experiences that is making me emotionally reactive to some truth, like just that he's just laying down. And that too has been therapeutic. What's up to Janet from another planet, guys? Please check out Janet. Hangs out with one of my best friends, Bruce Lombardo, my OGTFM chat brethren. You can also check out Bruce Lombardo hanging out with Mads Mama Bear over on Makini 90s channel. Had a chance to hang out with Makini the other night. Wonderful. So proud of Makini. God, I remember when he first came up. It was one of the great experiences of doing what I have done for the last several years is seeing creators become inspired by whomever, creating a channel, coming on live streams, making their voice heard, and then that blossoming into them exploring their talents or having the confidence to create and present those creations to people.
The creator feedback loop,
yes,
as it were.
And Makini's one of those, and I'm so proud of him. And Janet, sweetheart, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here, sweetie. Guys, check out her Instagram. Janet's kind of hot, guys. I'm just saying. All right, and so let's keep going. Slender Dad says, "I pretend to be a narcissist so that I might walk among them without fear of becoming a target." Bro, it's so
They're
that
cannibals, Slender Dad.
Well,
cannibals.
Slender, that's Comicsgate, bro. So that's what they do, and
As subtle as ever, Stephen.
I have known so many. I don't give fuck that hashtag. I have known so many people who have acquiesced to a toxic environment because they were scared of these smear campaigns, the flying monkeys, the networks that will come after them if they defy the head vampire. And the head vampire has his little junior vampires that he will send after you and smear you and stalk you and harass you, because that's how narcissists are. I read a book a while ago, mentioned on my last stream. It's called No Contact. It was written by a narcissist, and in that book, he talks about grand narcissists and junior narcissists and how they work together. Like they hate each other, but they're in competition. But the junior narcissist wants to be the big narcissist. And that's kind of how that organization runs. So you have to pretend like you are just as toxic. You have to hate who they hate. You have to go along with the hive mind, everything that we're fighting, or you get smear campaigned. And it's a shame to see, because the thing is that not all Comicsgate creators are like that. Like not every single person in Comicsgate is like, they're not like that. That is not it. But everyone understands, if you operate in that hashtag, that at some point you are going to have to be fake. You are going to have to act like you hate who the head vampire hates so that you can get that push. And that's sad. Fuck that hashtag.
It's like the Sith. It's like the old Sith empires in the Old Republic.
Yeah.
And it collapsed ultimately and ended up with the rule of two.
Well, you know what I'm kind of hoping is that the more creators that aren't associated with that, like the more independent comic creators that aren't associated with what Ethan built, will sustain the overall creativity and promotion of independent comic creators. Like it will.
Well, there are two visions. There's the Rippaverse vision, going from content creator to creator enterprise to creator-based corporation. And then there's the Comicsgate way of doing it, hanging together, pooling resources, a sort of
Destroying
alliance
other
of,
people.
well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
from your perspective, working as a collective, in a sense, hanging together instead of hanging separately. So they're two different visions, and for Stephen's perspective, using his perspective, one is neutral, and the other one is hell incarnate. So,
Which and it doesn't have to be. It's. I saw the same thing happen in TFM.
mhm,
That's why TFM broke up. I saw
mhm,
the same thing, but it was also connected to the same kind of head vampire. So,
mhm,
what the vision that I wanted, which is different than the vision what other people saw.
mhm,
Everyone has their own perspective, right? So, like what I'm saying, y'all comes from me. It's how it's
mhm,
the experiences I went through and what I can see. But it went from a group of creators, a group of content creators working together to get a message out, to fight the far left, to fight for our
mhm,
modern mythologies, to fight against toxic people, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths. And it became infighting because you let people who were like that
mhm,
into the group. And those people manipulated. And then and I was very naive.
mhm,
Like I said, dude, I've been a fight or flight type person, dude. I will either say F you and leave a situation, or I will just leave a situation, fight or flight.
mhm.
That's how it was most of my life. So I didn't learn a lot of the social graces. Like I didn't understand there's like this unsaid company culture that exists.
Yeah, netiquette, unwritten rules of content creation.
Yeah,
I
right.
actually wrote a bit of a paper on this good few months ago. I called it the creator community paradox: how things blossom and then ultimately they peak and then fall apart and collapse in on themselves. So I think there are about 5 points here. So point zero is the sum of all great foes, coming together, that sort of thing. Point
Phrasing.
one is point one is explaining the paradox. All these. There's one moment that causes a big backlash, like Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which
Mhm.
causes all these creators to gather together, hanging together, as it were, and it creates this solid community that slowly gets bigger and bigger and bigger as that first backlash then spreads like wildfire. In the example with the Fandom Menace would be how The Last Jedi was the foundation for almost all of these different franchises just collapsing in on themselves, destroying themselves. Of course, Star Trek, it was before The Last Jedi, but Star Wars was the institution of science fiction for decades, and then it spread to Doctor Who, and then other different forms of comics and entertainment. Of course, you had Gamergate, Comicsgate, all sorts of gates for some reason, and then it reaches a peak, and that's I actually have a diagram here, folks. It's very small. My writing is awful. So it starts tiny because that's the controversy. This is the Last Jedi moment, very small. Then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it reaches a peak and then collapses in on itself. And for me, the peak of the Fandom Menace would have to be sometime in 2020. You had the COVID lockdowns.
Yeah.
All the people were at home. Viewership just spiked everywhere because there was so much more demand, and many more people could see the problems, not just in popular culture, but in politics, in entertainment, and the wider world generally. And then 2021 came along, and everything collapsed in on itself. I mean, in 2020, it was riding high, and in 2021, from my analysis, it all collapsed in on itself. The spark was of course with a Schnack Schneider, as I like to call him, and then it devolved into other less controversial issues. But the 2021, in my view, killed the Fandom Menace, and of course, new communities sprung up
Yeah.
afterwards, and as far as I'm aware, all of those respective communities are currently doing well for now, at least. But from my perspective, from what I have written down, it's just the same effect. The big thing, the peak, it blows up and collapses in on itself like a black hole, and now you've got
Create
all
something
these
new.
yeah, and you've got all these other small communities, just like all the way back then with the initial backlash.
Mhm.
And then the cycle will repeat. And instead of one big bang, we'll have several big bangs because people, once there's a big controversy that divides people, that's when things go wrong. Because the more people are in it, the more potential for disagreement, which then causes the collapse, causes the fracture, and then more communities will form, and so on and so forth, until the establishment is crushed, or until what I like to call the alliance of alternatives, mainly all of us, are crushed. One of the two.
Yeah.
And it's
Well-
not certain who's going to win.
Yeah, dig it. Dig it.
Mm.
Well said, brother. Well said. Jennifer on their planet says, so they're a male narcissist? Yeah. Actually, they get more, male narcissists get more attention in the awareness community because narcissists play off of people's emotions or, when a female narc comes after a man, if she's using sex and she's using issues that he has, like codependency issues, that mommy issues. Women tend to think more emotionally. So for a narcissistic personality, it is easier to manipulate an emotionally thinking person who doesn't have strong boundaries, who can be manipulated. So there's a lot of narcissism is focused, at least on narcissistic abuse awareness, is actually more on men. There's a creator, Lisa Girl Power. If you've ever been through it, go check her out on Instagram. Lisa's great. She is most of her content is just narcissistic awareness, and some of it is like just fuck that man kind of content. I skip those. I'm like, all right, Lisa, your misandry's getting on me now. No, I said, but I'll skip those because I know she's talking about two other women about that narcissistic guy, that narcissistic ex guy, and so I understand what that content's for. But she's a wonderful creator and very supportive in our community.
Well, there are so many variables with content creators because we're not a solid unit like the establishment is in regards to, say, politics, popular culture, and it's all riddled with narcissism. I had it on the wrong page, Stephen. I had it on like the drawing page because it's easier to draw, but since it's in pencil, it causes a problem. I actually wrote it down, the 5 stages: the origins of the community, then the growth of the community. I have it in years too. So the origins, 2018, the growth in 2019, the zenith, so when it reaches its height in 2020, then the catalyst for it all collapsing, that was in 2021 with all the different things that went on there. And then by 2022, it was the end. And the fandom, I literally have it written here. The fandom menace dies and new creator communities form 2022.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That does sound about right. Thank you very much, Parrot Head. Appreciate you. Sorry I didn't see that earlier. Ruth, see, what are you saying? Ruth, Steve, why would a narcissist still want attention if they have discarded you? Because it's a constant supply. Once you go through the first evaluation stage, that narcissist understands that you'll forgive them. You'll keep letting them back in. You'll keep letting the wolf back in the hen house. And as many times as you keep opening that door, that wolf's going to walk right in and start eating some hens. It will go in a cycle over and over again until you go no contact, which invalidates their fragile existence, which they can no longer get supply from you, which is what they need to live in order to support what they're doing, their habits, their addiction to getting reactions from other people, or you've ended it, which then gives them the gold medal of narcissists. They can play the victim, because the person that loved them, but they were toxic off themselves.
Well, if you think about it this way, folks, then it's quite a silly perspective, but it's the only one I can think of. The narcissist is the person, and you are the food.
Absolutely.
They want to eat you, and the final frontier of eating you is for you to, eat yourself in regards to ceasing to exist, if you understand that, not alliteration, that example. I can't think of the word.
Analogy?
Yes, analogy.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're energy vampires. Narcissists are energy vampires. They have to feed off of others. I I firmly believe that being through what I went through and then hearing stories from other people, that one of their end goals is the ultimate feeling of control over another
Mhm.
person is to affect them to the point, to gaslight them, to lie to them, to put
Mhm.
them into a fit of depression to where they end themselves. But the third option is telling the truth. And
Mhm.
if you're in a case where you're trying to keep your kids, you're fighting for your kids, you've had kids with one, or you have to stand and fight, then exposing a narcissist, with the exception of like a grandiose, because
Mhm.
they don't even care who knows, they're just evil, um, but they hate being exposed. So
Mm.
the reason that a narcissist wants your attention after they discard you is because they need to have a feeling of control over you, because you are their object, you are their you are their thing, you are
You're
a
their main
supply.
course,
You're the
or
main course, right?
starter, or
You're
dessert.
right. You're a supply.
Mm.
And as long as they feel as though they are generating misery in your life, have control over you, then that still gives them a feeling of self-validation.
Mm.
And that's why they do that. It's a sick, dark, nasty, evil cycle.
That's why, folks, in my view, say for example, the establishment did collapse, and all these companies collapsed, and all these franchises just fell into a void. Where would content creators be? I mean, some channels literally build themselves around highlighting the problem with certain shows. For example, Star Trek, or Star Wars, or Doctor Who, or Rings of Power, or Wheel of Time. If these shows were cancelled, if they were just thrown into the ether, where would these creators be? What would they do? And that, you could say that with the comics industry. If the comics industry collapsed tomorrow, Marvel, DC go under, Image as well, and all sorts of different examples. Of course, there'd be a massive void for independent creators to fill, but that could overwhelm some creators,
Yeah.
even the most prominent ones. So it would be very interesting to see what creators would do across all sorts of different planes if the establishment just went under. I wonder how many creators would still be around if there was no problem to highlight. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, well said, brother. Papa Cotton, another drop in truth. We all make mistakes. We're smart enough to avoid. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Um, well, let me check. Hold on. Damn. Well, oh, thank you, Slender. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. I'll get the whole team involved. If Immortal Coil needs help,
Hmm.
then yeah, let's get the team involved. We'll get this book done. Thank you, man. I love y'all. There be rogues here. I love y'all. Thank
Hmm.
you so much. Thank you. Um, let's see. I like to write too. Oh, that's very cool, Deborah. Keep writing. Live your dream. I need to get this book. I have been not had done for 2 years because I was
Hmm.
busy with the. Oh my God, I need to get this done because I really have a science fiction series that I want to get done. I have the outline for it since I was a kid. I've worked
Hmm.
on it over and over again. I actually released the first 2 books, but I pulled them off the shelf
Oh.
because I want to re-edit them. Because I've become more skilled and knowledgeable now in as far as my craft. So I want to bring Elemental Heart and Elemental Dragonfire and Brimstone back out. But I want to get that series done. Drunk 3PO said that to me so long ago. He was just like, just get this book done. Take that crap. Take it, and get yourself unstuck.
Hmm.
Remember when he said that to me?
I'm more of a quantity man, folks. I'm not a quality man. I made 5 videos today, and it's just here today, gone tomorrow. Keep on going, and
Keep on
hopefully
going.
keep on growing. It takes me about, say, an hour and a half to make a video, but I am quite a lazy bastard. I'm like hairy ass pre-workout phase. I'm nowhere near as talented, but yeah.
Thank you, Tina. Looking forward to that. I'll get a hold of you and Wes, and we'll schedule those. I also have a couple other people from TikTok that are going to be coming over to help do that series, and I'm looking forward to hearing about the interviewing people and hearing their stories and what they have been through their experiences, so that I have a greater understanding of what I'm talking about. It's always good to be knowledgeable. You don't. What did he say? You don't have to be an artist to be. Oh no, absolutely not.
Mm.
Absolutely not. That's a that's a I don't know, a basic.
Mm.
That's a human behavior. That's absolutely, and manipulating oneself,
Mm.
because sometimes we need to lie to ourselves in order to create a false worldview, and you don't have to be a narcissist to do that. In
Mm.
order to protect yourself from hurt feelings or needing to see what you need to see. It's another thing that I learned about myself in the last year that I did not like. I was like, oh shit, I do that to me, and I don't like that.
Well, one
Um,
man's manipulator is another man's guide, ladies and gentlemen. And Gap has something to say,
where
Stephen.
is that? Where is that toward the end? I've missed so many.
Go right to the bottom.
Going right to the bottom. Oh, what's up,
Yeah.
memes? Gap said you took my wrench away. Did you have a wrench here? I'll give you a wrench.
He has
Gap,
two channels, folks. The one where he's gone from one disaster after another, and this one where he's sharing his experiences of going from one disaster to another. And this one has been successful, so I should be taking notes.
Gap.
Find an AIDS demon to go out with, and lose things and give
Gap,
her lots of money. And
I don't even see Gap. I don't even see you on. Does anybody else see Gap in the regular chat?
well, he looks like a cat on.
I know, but
on
oh, here he is. Okay,
owl.
here he is. Okay. Add moderator. I'm adding you. There's your wrench. There's your wrench, Gap. Thank
Mhm.
you. Okay, I want to go back up to memes and instruction. Thank you so very much. Memes instruction for $4.99 says, "Hi friends, congratulations, Steven. You earned it, brother. Thank you so, man. Had a lot of fun hanging out with you and the other guys on Culture's channel yesterday. Thank you very much.
Mm.
Keep it pushing, dude. And much love to you." Papa Cotton says, "Actually, I want to gaslighting is just a trendy way of saying lying. No, gaslighting is an entirely different. It involves lying, but gaslighting is not just simply lying. Gaslighting
It's a
is
component, yes.
yeah,
Gaslighting, lying, manipulation,
right.
obfuscation, denying reality, and that all of that amalgamation of different fucking madness, as it were. And that's why we have a new term for it because, well, you put all these different things together, folks. It creates something new. So we have to give it a name. Hmm.
Hmm. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Hold on.
Sure.
Gaslighting is so cruel, it causes PTSD. Absolutely. And in some cases, so severely that people do not recover. People live the rest of their lives just unable to recover. Oh, I'm doing the best I can, Janet, while learning as I go. But the experiences that I've had and the people that have supported me have really helped me to get through. And I'm trying to do this in the most genuine way that I can. This is about helping others, but I also want to be a motivator. So I'm doing the motivational. Oh, and by the way, that's right. I got to mention this. Mortal Coil and I were talking last night. I'm going to be creating a third channel. I'm going to be. I'm at this point. I'm not sure what I'm going to name it. It might be called Lodanis Ravenwolf, but I'm actually going to go back to what I initially wanted this channel to be, and I'm going to be doing spiritual topics and tarot. So I'm going back to doing that. I'm going to create a third channel. Mortal Coil and I are working on creating a show. We're going to have it on his channel because that man needs to hit 1,000. There's no reason why he has not. We're going to focus on that. Get him up. Get him monetized, and build Lodanis Ravenwolf. So. Tarot is coming back. I will be doing tarot cards again. It won't have anything to do with this channel. This channel here is like non-denominational. There's a lot of different types of people that come through here, and I am a firm believer that no matter how you connect with whatever your connection is with the divine or source or the universe, whatever you call it, is completely valid, especially when you're healing from dealing with a narcissistic abuse, dealing with a demon. Recovery from that level of manipulation and stalking and gaslighting and destruction. See, oh, here we go. Whatever. I remember Wes used to go off about TFM all the time back in the day, Ryan. You have no. This is OG. Whether he wants to admit it or not, this is OG TFM talking right here. He said the leaderless movement turned into a cult. Both non-leaders and followers are to blame. Wes, forever from the first year, was talking about this. Was talking about making sure we didn't become a cult, making sure that we were strong as individuals, because then that was very important, being an individual creator, having your own mind, because we were being smeared as a hive mind by a hive mind. We were being told that we were sexist, racist, man babies, living in our mother's basement and all that shit. We were all being smeared. And our individuality was the most important component. And Wes was forever bringing that up, man, early in the day. That just reminded me of that, dude. Thank you so much, brother. Your wisdom has guided me through many a difficult time, Wes. Let's see. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. You're welcome. Yeah, so it's been an hour and 15, and I think I'm going to cut it out here. I believe there's other streams going on. Go check out Vinny and the crew, all the good people, and or anyone else, or your favorite content creators out there. And remember to support each other and support one another. Ryan, is there anything that you want to promote?
Oh, well, for this week or next week by American standards, because of the time differential, Reality Based will be live 5 days in a row. 3 episodes of Reality Based Extreme, which is the second series of Reality Based. We'll be having Raquel SSG 2211 on. We'll be having what was his name? The Golden Age Geek on, and the author John A. Douglas on. That's 3 days in a row. Excuse me, folks. A little bit of my dinner came up, and I haven't been able to drink it down, as it were. And then for the next 2 days will be the pilot episodes for reality-based movies, and then reality-based gaming with a lineup which will be shown during the thumbnail, and hopefully those will be weekly shows, fingers crossed. And then, I think I'll take Saturday off, but I've got another 2 shows that I'm planning, which is reality-based comics and reality-based politics. And that politics show will be every Saturday at 10 p.m. UK time, good 2 hours. Then I can hop on this guy's great show for an hour. And then after an hour, I'll hop on Hypno's show for 3 hours. But you've got to ride his member in order to watch it. So that's my plans. Hopefully they don't collapse in on themselves like the Soviet Union. And it'll be great to see you being consistent in content creation, not just shooting up those shorts.
Oh, I'm doing
the easy way.
The path of least resistance, bro, got me to 5,000. No, you know what I do? I do long form videos now, so I'll do like a 5 to 10 minute video. So some of the other NARC creators, awareness creators, have been giving me some tips on things. So that's where I've been going with it. And real quick, I wanted to Now, you know what? I'm going to do a video about that. But I'm going to do upcoming video. I found out that a friend of mine passed away a year ago, and I didn't know. I didn't know that she had. She actually was around during the entire time this thing with Narc X was going on. She was a woman that had been my friend for a long time, and she had given me advice. She used to read my cards, and we had a falling out because I was in a place. This was May of last year, because I was in a very angry place, and we used to come together to help one another when we needed each other. We both came around because we needed each other at the same time, but because of the situation, we had a falling out in this one instance. We never really had a falling out before, but turns out 2 weeks after that falling out took place, she died. And I was actually going to reach out to her to be like, yo, look, we've been friends since like 2009. I'm sorry about what I did. I'm sorry I hurt you. We can apologize to each other, make up, and move on. And then I found out that she passed away. And it's so relevant that the last pictures she shared on her Facebook were of us at the beach. It was like that. So, guys, really, I know that sometimes we can let our anger get to us, especially if we've been through a consistently bad situation, abusive situation, prolonged period of having to defend ourselves. But no matter how mad you get, try and remember that sometimes try and remember that your anger does not justify certain actions. Just because someone hurts you does not really justify you going all out and trying to hurt someone else because you're in pain. You know, there's a difference between reacting to or responding to a situation with a personal authority because you've been hurt, and then reacting to a situation with someone else because of pain you are feeling either from them or from a previous situation. Because if that falling out occurs and if you act in a way that you know later on you're going to feel bad about, you may never get the chance. You may never get the chance to say you're sorry. You may never get the chance to be friends with that person again. And that's your last memory with them. So please remember, guys, no matter how upset you get or what you are dealing with, stop for a moment, take a breath, think about how you're dealing with a situation. A person that has been close to you in the past is not worth being treated like they're dirt just because they're going through a bad time. They may have treated you wrong, or because you are hurt. All right. Do not react from pain. Stop, take a breath, look at a situation, be your better self.
Observe. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, the best thing to do is to say, or best thing to say or do is nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And just let the void decide who rises and who falls.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you, wise words, brother. Thank you to everybody in the chat for being here. Thank you for helping me get to 5K. Remember, support your independent creators out there. If you have a dream, follow it. If you want to write, if you draw, no matter what it is, follow your dream. Do not let anyone or anything stop you. Do not let anyone else's criticism. You are your biggest cheerleader. You are the one who's going to help you get to the next level. Look within yourself. If you got to fix your own shit, fix your shit. It's nobody else's responsibility to fix your shit. It's your responsibility. And no, you did not deserve what you went through. You did not deserve to be targeted for any type of abuse or harassment, but it is up to you in how you heal with it, how you deal with it, and how you move on. Brothers and sisters, please remember to support the great people in your lives, support your independent creators, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and never again suffer them fools. And I didn't have an outro. I was going to run an outro, but I'm going. And I'm a pagan man. And I don't care what he says. I don't care what I'm trying to hit this button. Ryan says, and I'm peg in. I'm a Wiccan. I'm a Wiccan pagan man.